Hey, it's Big Game James McCarty, Sports Director at Flag Family Media, here with Dragon men's basketball guard Levi Birkholz. Levi, you guys are in the home stretch now of the regular season. 4 games entering this week left, 3 of which are at home. New coaching staff, new players this year. We've talked about it all year, the roller coaster you guys have been on. What do you think has went well this year, and what do you think is something that you guys are continuing to improve on as we hit that home stretch?
Yeah, for sure. I think we keep getting better. It doesn't always show it, but especially this past few weeks, we've had some really competitive practices, and we're getting better. But obviously, sometimes it doesn't always translate. But we just have to keep believing that that us getting better will eventually lead to wins.
And for a guy like you, one of the holdovers from last year's squad, right? You guys had 6 guys that played in last year's Sweet 16 team and that are back now this year. You bring in a handful of new guys, whether it's transfers or freshmen, things of those sorts. How have you guys been connected in that way, and how have you been improving your chemistry? Because, you know, as a third-year junior, a second year in the program for you, you're still one of those guys that a lot of guys are going to look to regardless of time on the court or not to lean on when it comes to being a veteran.
Yeah. It's definitely been a challenge, and I think we've done a great job. I just try and do my part. I try and just be a solid person, just, trying to be as consistent as I can be so that others can look towards me and hopefully use me as a role model. But we try and keep working every day just to get even closer and closer, and I think eventually it will show on the court.
With the new coaching staff this year, of course, you almost have to restart, right? Kind of re-earn your playing time, kind of re-earn those badges that you have. We've seen it this season from Tyson, from you, from Eddie. Eddie now working his way back into the starting lineup again. You getting some really big minutes in Aberdeen last weekend when Northern was shooting lights out just to try and bring some more defensive presence. How have you handled the kind of mix of from night to night? You might get a couple of minutes. The next night you might get 15 minutes. And how do you balance that and really keep yourself level-headed?
Yeah, you just have to be really headstrong, and it can be really difficult at times, but just trying to put trust into the coaching staff and, having them knowing what they're talking about. And sometimes it doesn't always go your way, and you can get frustrated, but just trying to keep a strong head and just trying to stay as consistent as you can.
Entering Saturday's game this weekend against Minnesota State, you guys are going to have senior day. So they're going to be honoring, a handful of transfers, but also a couple of guys that have been around. And Sam Hostrider, along with Eddie Benningo, has been here for the better part of half a decade at this point. What have those guys meant to you, and what would you want to say to those seniors that you've been able to lean on the last couple of years as, well, in a couple of weeks they'll be passing the torch on to a guy like you?
Yeah, I mean, Ed and Sam, obviously they've been in the program a little bit longer, and they are just great role models. They absolutely love this program. They would die for this program. So looking at those guys, it's going to mean a lot. But then also the transfers. They came in and they kind of dove straight into the culture here. And so it's absolute props to them too. And I'm just excited to honor those guys this weekend.
We look ahead to this weekend's matchup. So you, Mary, you guys are trying to split with them this year. For Minot State, you're trying to get a season series sweep. Similar but different at the same point, kind of the styles that they play. You want to, of course, at home make them play your style of game. What needs to happen in those combination of 2 games to be successful, get 2 big wins, and get yourself rolling as you get to the last week of the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to protect home court. I don't think we've done as great of a job this year. We've let some slip at home, which is, you never want that to happen. So just 3 out of the last 4 at home, you got to protect home court.
Awesome. Well, Levi, thanks for coming to your time. We appreciate it. Good luck this weekend.
I appreciate it.
Big Game James McCarty alongside Levi Birkholz, the Dragon men's basketball team. Have a great rest of your day.